What is up, my friends? My name is Echo Thrumi, and we're back with episode 19 of the Spring Trap, and my co-host and I are here bringing you guys Doc Holliday, as you kind of see above, founder of the AWL, the American War League. Now, I mentioned my co-host, who is normally Cleric Dragoon. Unfortunately, he could not be here today with us, so I have the Spooby HD in the house right here. You guys have seen him before on that episode that we have with Powerbang, but this is his official day to be a co-host on the show, and I know that he's happy about it. I know that you guys are pumped to have him in here as well. We have a ton of questions that came through from the Circle of Clans, from the Family Circle, from Twitter, from Discord, all for Doc Holliday, who I guess we're still waiting on a real true face reveal from. And we're going to get into that in a moment, but Spooby, I'm handing the mic over to you, brother. How you doing, man?
What's up, everyone? It's your boy, Spooby. I'm so happy to be here, Echo. I'm so happy to have you guys. And, if you guys do not know who I am, I'm just, if you're living under a rock. So I like to do, just Clash of Clans and all stuff. I'm in the Family Circle with Duke, with, not Power Slang. I'm with Echo and with everyone else. So it's really great to be here.
Hey, Spooby. Great to see you, brother.
Hey, good to see you too, Doc. Looking legit.
There he is.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, why don't you let everyone know who Doc Holliday is, what you do, why you're your greatest, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna actually make you not Wicked Gaming because it says that under you, and we're gonna fix that up while you do your talking, okay?
Great on. Thank you for this show, man. I'm telling you what, huge fan. Spoobs, you rock, man. Yeah, you rock, Spoobs. So anyway, I tell you what, it's been an honor to be on. I'm Doc Holliday from the AWL. Most people know me from. Me, Taff, and Axis are all the co-founders of the AWL, and a lot of you may also know me from the website ClashKings2.com. Who I'm partners with Axis again on, and also from the server The Family Circle, who we have right now about 28 clans and growing. So
yes, it is.
Yeah.
28.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, and how long has that been around, man? The Family Circle is fairly new. I know that it's been growing pretty good, man. How long has it been going?
4.5 weeks. 4.5 weeks, brother.
Wow,
4.5 weeks.
Crazy. 2.5 weeks. So at any point in this show, if you want to be part of this clan family, which is an amazing one, the link is in the description on how to get that information, how to get in touch, and we're always looking for some people. So let's get into the show, I guess. So you guys know, if this is your first time here or if you're returning, thank you very much. This show rolls like this. I go through all the questions that came through both Twitter and through Discord, and I'll be, engaging as much as I can in the chat as possible. If you guys have questions throughout the show, just throw them in the chat. I'll copy paste them onto a sheet, and we'll get to them at some point in the show. I promise you that. But we're gonna get to Twitter right now and see what kind of questions came through from there. I think the first one is from Flashback, who is actually one of the recruiters in the Family Circle and Circle of Clans. And this question, after her little bit of hype there for the Spring Trap, was, what's our greatest in-game Clash moment? So think back to when you had that great moment in Clash of Clans, that shining moment. Spooby, I'm starting with you, brother. What's your shining moment?
The greatest Clash of Clans moment. Okay, can it be out of game?
Wait a second. It said in game.
In game? Oh, darn it. Okay.
But Spooby,
okay.
Spooby, you're the co-host. You could change that to whatever
You can make it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. So out of game. Okay, so there's this girl. Okay, her name is Leah, and she was an amazing person. I actually ended up asking her out to Homecoming, and what I did, like, she played Clash of Clans and all stuff. So I made a base design with my cruddy Town Hall, like my rushed Town Hall 10 with like level 6 walls, and it says Homecoming with like a question mark, and she said yes.
Really?
That's my greatest Clash moment. It was very cringy, but I gotta say I was very successful.
On the date.
Yeah, date was terrible, but
getting
the
date.
Best.
That's funny. How about you,
The
Doc?
story works. I'll say in-game moment. I still remember the first war that we did. We had a perfect war, and we did it in the first hour. We were a blitzkrieg clan for a year and a half, I know. And that was pretty special. We had a bunch of perfect wars, but getting them all done in the first hour was nice. And then, of course, we stepped it up from there and wanted to do the I think the best we ever achieved was a 25 out of 25 3-star. All 25 got 3 stars. We kept trying for the 30, but never quite broke it. So
that's impressive stuff right there. I've never been part of a perfect war, even in clan and, not participating.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just haven't. I just haven't. But my best moment, it doesn't have to do with my attacks or anything like that because, I'm just a mediocre player. But my best moment, it does relate to YouTube, and that is when I was officially beginning to cover Clash of Clans on a competitive level. When I hooked up with the Bada Bing clan, they kind of took me under their wing, gave me a start, and that kind of led me to what I am today. And then, of course, coming to the Circle of Clans, it would be wrong if I didn't say that right now, wouldn't it? I mean, I could have you guys hang up on me right now, but that was also a great part too, and getting invited to and being part of such a great clan family. So those are my 2 top moments, and we're moving on to question number 2, and I think it's the final one that we got over on Twitter. Actually, this is a Discord question. It's from Captain, and he's actually the leader of Scrappy Wizards, who are in the family circle. He says, what's in store for the family circle in the future? That's part 1 of this question. So Doc, you're on, man.
Well, that's a great question. Thank you for the question. We pride ourselves in being the hub for the war community, and for the clans that are part of the war community. And we've got events now that run on Friday night and Saturday night and Sunday night for our training academies. And we've got clan game 4 events that we use for our clan game events. That's pretty awesome. We've got specialties that go outside the game for if you're into Clash Royale, PUBG or Fortnite. We've got sections for there, but we are fixing to announce, and you'll hear it here before anybody else does, a base builder walkthrough section we're going to give through once a week. Everybody likes training camps and scene friendly challenge nights, but you rarely get to talk about how to build a base and the things you need to look for and the strengths and weaknesses of certain different base designs. So we're going to have walkthrough specialists going through, and additionally for that, we're also going to have some league support teams. So all that's coming.
Okay,
that's awesome.
So basically, it's just a hub for gamers to come together, all focused on Clash of Clans primarily, and your goal is to build them up to be better clashers, more involved clashers, and just basically build Clash of Clans up from your server and out, correct?
Absolutely. You hit the nail dead on the head.
I think I said that well.
You did. I'll also say this. A lot of clans, when they come in, of course, they'd be remiss not to see the recruiting possibilities. People want to jump in and get a part of these war-oriented clans that have all come through a process. So people, you have to take the recruiting aspect, but people want to help in the server. It's a family aspect to it as well. So
right.
The content that is shown there is top notch. You don't have to worry about getting. We have the best media team around, I should say.
Hey, we'll take that. We'll take that. You have the best. Yes. Goon, we love you.
Yes. So we love you, Goon.
All right, that's been answered well right there.
Goon.
Yes, there he is. There he is. Finally made it to the show. So again, guys, he's at work. He was able to come in and be able to chat with you guys a little bit, but couldn't be here on cam. So, Spoobs, just
yes.
a great replacement for Cleric Dragoon.
Yeah,
all right.
Best guy.
Let's get through some of these questions. I'm going to start pumping them out, guys. We're going to start answering them. They are either random that have nothing to do with Clash, maybe some specific to the AWL and the Circle, or maybe some that are just Clash questions. We'll have to see. But the first one comes from Ophelia Melons, and it says, if you were a ride in Disney World, what ride would you be and why? Doc, you're up, man.
Ooh, well, I've never been to Disney World, so I know it's bad. But I think if I had to be a ride, maybe the Gambler. How about that?
Which one is that?
The Gambler. I don't know.
You're making up a ride for Disney now, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I've never been there. I don't know, but it fits my style, so that's what I roll with.
Spooby, you ever been to Disney, man?
I've never been to Disney. Okay, I just want to give a huge shout out to my twin sister Madison. Love you. You're the best. I've never been to Disney. I've actually never heard of any of the rides. So if I can go to be a ride, the Hulk maybe. Like I think that sounds like a ride. You know, you just go into like a little roller coaster and you go in, you go up, and you go down.
Mm-hmm.
I've never
guys have never
seen
been to
pictures
Disney.
of Disney
That's
either.
pretty crazy.
We've never been to Disneyland, apparently, either one of us.
Neither of us.
Universal Studios, I've been there once. And
Well,
I
I'll
went
give a
there,
legit answer, and that would be the what was that? Splash Mountain is what I would be, because Splash Mountain is this calming ride. You're sitting in a little tree trunk, and you're kind of floating around. A little bit of hype right there. Thank you, D-Peg, for that donation. So it's a calm ride. Kind of like me, a pretty calm guy. And then out of nowhere comes this huge waterfall, and you just drop down. It's a ton of fun. So it would represent me well. Pretty calm, but always have that ability to go a little crazy. So I actually answered the question properly, boys, unlike you guys and your no Disneyland.
Universal Studios,
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm getting my little hype in there right now for Doc. I appreciate that, man. And I want to say hi to Madison, too. Thanks so much for coming down and supporting your brother. He's very much loved in this community, and I hope that you and the family realize that. So we're going to move forward, though, but thanks for coming down to the stream. This question is from the Dragoon of Cleric, and it says, if an alien invasion was happening, what would you do? Would you go fight? Would you try to communicate with them, or stay home and finish your League War attacks? Spooby.
Okay, here's the thing. So as a media content creator, we have one day. Okay, we have one day after that war in order to go and get your replays in and to go and make a video. And you guys already know, you guys watch my channel. I make skits for each video. Well, I'm planning to start, make skits for each video. And, that takes a lot of time. And if that interferes with it, I can't leave. I can't leave the house. So I just have to stay inside the dorm or stay at home. And just fight them off. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get Goon, I'm gonna get Echo, I'm gonna get Rolex. We're all gonna hop into the motorcycle and we're gonna drive off when it's done.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, he's got it well planned out, apparently.
Oh yeah, it's already on here.
He may have seen this question beforehand. I'm not sure.
That was a good one.
How about you, Doc?
First off, Cleric Dragoon, I'm telling you, mass props, brother. I got to give a shout out to him. Most of you, I hope, listen, though. That's the partner over in the family circle and founder of the Circle of Clans, and basically leader of the best media team on the planet. So, great question, man. And you know what makes it great and makes the whole team great is your grinders. And that's exactly what we do, is we all grind. So I'd stay home and get the work done, too. Yeah, I sure will.
And for me, I probably wouldn't even know about the attack, because all I'm doing is sitting in front of my computer screen, in front of a phone or something, looking at Clash stuff. But if I did know, I would, why would we assume that these aliens are vicious or trying to, take our lives? Maybe they're friendly and they want to just interact with us. So
it's like Avatar.
You got to start with the conversation, and then you got to be ready to throw down in case that conversation goes bad. But I hear that the aliens, they have some kind of either really good weapons or extra strength. So either way, I think we'd be kind of screwed. But yeah. Goon has another question for us again. And it says, what character would you play if you were in the movie Troy? And I'll tell you, I have not seen that movie, so I can't answer.
Ooh.
Maybe you guys can.
I've never seen Troy either, but I like to be Troy. That'd be a good character.
He's a strong, long-haired superhero, correct?
That's Achilles, first off. Yes.
Okay.
Not Troy was the city that they attacked.
See?
Well, I'll be the guy named Troy. Well, I'll be the city then. I'll play as the city.
I'll
be everywhere.
That's fine.
How about this? I'll preface it this way. That was an awesome movie, Goon. I'm an epic movie fan myself, so yeah, anybody who wouldn't want to be Brad Pitt in the opening scene of that movie, one of the greatest opening scenes ever. Yeah, that's who he'd have to be. But basically, that's the Helen of Troy War. Yeah.
And is there a character you'd like to be?
Yes, definitely Achilles. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Achilles?
He's the man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's Brad Pitt at his finest, too, for the record. So,
We got one coming in from Crusher. He says, any plans on rethinking the mandatory war start time? I'm assuming he's talking about the AWL wars. Doesn't specify. He's not. Yeah. Yeah,
I would assume so. I'll say this: we're everything we don't have a closed mind on anything. We keep an open mind, open book policy, matter of fact, and we send out a lot of questionnaires and ballots and stuff, asking for people's opinions. Matter of fact, we roll out a couple divisions and stuff and see what time works for best. So if you really are interested in having your input heard, we listen, I assure you, and we put it on our Discord server and get it out there. So yes, we are not married to the 6 o'clock automatic start on the weekends or the 9 p.m. automatic start on Tuesday nights for the midweek in humans division.
Humans.
Yes.
Avengers.
Beasts.
Actually, better.
Yeah, so I
Just
cover
saying,
the
I'm
Inhumans
not throwing
and
any shade. I'm just gonna say that the Avengers, okay, so first of all, Goon's not here, okay? So we can already, the Guardians are already out of there, okay? They're at third place. The Inhumans, I've been a part of them, okay? Yeah, they're great. They're great people,
Watch
but
what you say,
Avengers,
Spooby.
I
A
went
lot of
there
people
for
are
one-
watching.
I went there for 1 week. Ooh, it's like a 5-star restaurant in there.
That's
Yeah.
so
The best,
funny.
the best. I got to see the Avengers, the Cap. We got Hawkeye, Spider-Man. We got everyone there.
Yes, you do.
So
For those who probably don't know, let me clarify if you don't mind. Spooby covers the entire Avengers division for the AWL. Woot woot. And Goon covers the entire Guardians division for the AWL. Woot woot. And our very own Echo here covers the entire Master Heavyweight and Humans division.
That's
Woo.
that heavyweight. You hear that? Heavyweight,
Yes.
number one.
Yes, sir.
It just sounds tough. So, sorry, Spooby. I think I take first place.
Whoa. Okay, you know what? In Humans, I did do the speech, but you know what? This Monday, the speech has already been done. You're gonna get a better speech for the Avengers. So I'm calling you out, Echo. You have to make a speech as well.
I do what I do, man. You're the one that likes to do your speeches and tap dancing. I'm just gonna do what I do, brother. All right?
I got you.
Okay. Hey, by the way, your sister just subbed the channel, which is pretty cool. Madison. All right, let's go on to Ryan Reed. When did you guys start playing Clash, and when did you join the competitive war scene? I'll take that one to start, and then we'll let you guys take it. I started playing Clash of Clans about 3.5 years ago, casual. I used to play Star Wars Commander, which is basically Clash of Clans, just a Star Wars version. And I found that Clash of Clans was better, and that's when I started over there. And the competitive war scene I got into when I got up with Bada Bing Clan about 1.75 years ago. But again, I've never competed personally in the AWL, CWL, NDL, or any of that. I was just kind of the media guy. I'm the news guy. I stand on the side and I just take everyone's good stuff. So for me, I'm there, but I'm not actually competing in competitive war. The reason being, not that I'm not an elite, amazing attacker. That's not at all the case. It's the time it takes. And I'm really not that great. I'm average, but I don't have the time, guys. So with all the YouTube stuff, how about you guys?
Doc, you want to answer?
Sure. Yeah, I was playing. I've been playing probably 4.5 years now. I started right after it came out. I'll say this: I got in with a really great clan family, and I'd just come from playing on console. To be honest with you, it was really my first mobile game that I picked up and said, okay, this is where I'm going to go mobile-wise. So really, I was hanging on to the console life, refusing to let it go. But the phones kept getting better, and the tablets kept getting bigger and brighter. So I moved to Clash, and then I'll be honest with you. I got a Town Hall 10 with 35 heroes, and I've been telling everybody I ought to do. As leader of my clan, Clash Kings 2, I'd be able to do what you do with 35 heroes and everything else max. But it's good to say that. It's another thing to follow it. So my heroes are on the way up. What about you,
Grind
Steve?
on, man.
That's right.
Okay, well, I started Spoobs. Oh, wait. I started Clash of Clans about 4 years and 8 months ago. And, when I first got into competitive Clash, that was actually when Goon actually, picked me up about 3 months ago, and said, "Hey, I really like you and all stuff. Do you want to come to the Circle of Clans?" And actually went to my first clan, which was Swift and Sure, and that was like my first taste of people being so organized when they attack. And I fell in love with the Circle of Clans automatically. And then when Doc picked me up with the AWL. Oh my gosh, it was another dimension I just crossed. I thought I went to Narnia, when I first came in, and just I see all these Discord chats. Discord's very new for me, but all these people that just fell in love with the game, because it was a little bit stale for me until I came into the AWL and the circle of clans and the family circle. They're just that they impact the game in such a way that it screams that this game will never die.
That's the hope.
No death in sight, man.
That's right.
All right, let's take a question from Corrupt. I'm not going to ignore the question.
Did he steal your game?
It's a good question.
Was it your question?
No, it was not my question. Inside joke, guys. Sorry. It's a question for Doc. As it being AWL Season 1, what has been the most exciting thing about opening this league? I'm sure there's a lot of exciting things that have happened. You start a whole new league. It's seeing success. So what's that moment that's just the best moment from Season 1?
Well, all right. I tend to think for the community, I like to be the social guy in the community and helping others out. That's what I did with my website a long time ago. Made it free and open to the public. And with the AWL, I think the most rewarding factor of the whole deal is that it's just relieved all the hassle out of the league, and it's brought the focus back to the battlefield where it really belongs. And you can just go war and pick your own starters at a certain set time where it's same set, standard, fair for everybody. There's no extra waiting, no extra matchmaking complaints. And really, we have our Friday night spins go by. We just had one and didn't have a single issue, not one. Everybody's at their spin within 5 minutes, except done. It's seamless. It's easy. You get to pick your starters, and because it's we're not that Red Cloud files or the tier matchmaking formula. That's all out the window. You literally bring your best roster crew. So it's refreshing, and the end result of that is it's really generated pretty much across the board, almost all max bases, and so you're getting top tier competition. And now it's not about in these wars, it so becomes about, you hear these clan leaders say, drop 3 or in an attack, or drop 4 in attack, or go to and it's not there. It's not about dropping 3 or 4. Now it's about choosing the best base, your best attack style versus the base design you see, and going into it. And just hearing the response to all that, and people, even the no reach, no dip division that we've gone on, it was great for the no dip, and those guys are awesome. But we've added a no reach aspect to it, and we've just got another division. So the response from the community really is just the ultimate thing for me, because it's what I was trying to help a long time ago. But man, the Clash community is just something else. It's a family.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I agree. Let's get into this question from Cheddar. He said, actually, I want to say one other thing. You were just talking about the no reach, and that's one of my favorite things about the division that I cover, because I haven't seen another league that offers that. No dip, we've seen before. The no dip league has thrived on not being able to drop down and attack town halls lower, but you can reach in the no dip league. So in the in your division, not being able to reach, it's just something different. So you can't get those town hall 10s scout and the town hall 11s. So it's just a different game. It adds a different twist to it. And in one of my videos that I made for you guys from this past week, I don't know if it actually went live yet. For the life of me, I couldn't think of the term no reach. So I sound like a moron for a few minutes just sitting there trying to think of the term. It never came to me, but that's your
Googled it.
What's that?
Yeah.
I tried to Google it, and I'm like, oh gosh, this does not help at all. So I asked Doc.
Can I say something?
Of course.
What makes this so great, though, is that we're not stuck to what people have done before us. Mm-hmm. And we don't have a group or a staff. I'm telling you, we got Axis and TAF are the best partners a guy could hope for. Our staff is awesome. We listen to the community. We put out those feelers. So, and we've got the ability to create whatever we need. We've just rolled out a dashboard that is truly awesome. Shows stats of shows the stats down to your percent rate. You can see the enemy's yours. Literally, and we're not stuck to doing it the way anybody else has done it. So it's refreshing when people have an idea and you have the ability and the quality people we do go out and create it and make it happen.
I think that Red is saying it right there in the chat too. She says a hassle-free league where, it's up to the people, things go to vote, and things can change. Nothing is set in stone. And that's cool. I like that a lot. We got a question from Sammy coming in. This is about the game itself as a whole. He's talking about queen walks. He says, Archer queen charges everywhere. What do you think Supercell might nerf the queen or, buff some of the point defenses, things like that? Cannon tower, wizard towers, and things like that. I'm a Town Hall 9 player. Question for all from Sammy. I'll take that one to start. And I want to give a little bit of hype right here to Garen. Thank you so much for that donation,
Garen.
man. Appreciate it very much. In the past, Clash of Clans, Supercell have said they want multi-phased attacks. They don't want spam attacks. Now, with that being said, spam attacks are still there. I don't like to call Bow Witch a spam attack, but it's a spammy kind of attack. You drop all your troops, you kind of hit those abilities, drop those spells, and people would call that a spam attack. I love the attack strategy, but that's what people would say. So one of the best ways to have multi-stage attacks is to have a queen walk be an effective strategy. I mean, it's probably the most effective way to start out one of your hits if you're a developer trying to make a multi-staged attack. So for me, I don't think Queen Walk needs to be nerfed. I don't think it's overpowered. It takes skill to use. I mean, there's so many times that I'm trying to do some Queen Walks and I mess up. I don't pop the ability in time. I don't drop the rage in time. I mess something up. It's not like throw 4 healers on your queen and you're going to 3-star the base. It's not like that. Although people would say that it's like that. So I personally don't think any change needs to be made. If anything is made, any changes are made, I would say I'd rather have some point defenses be a little bit buffed on the attack rather than have the queen nerfed. Especially all the time and money that people put into upgrading that queen. That would just be, I mean, literally... My queen is, I think, a level 49 right now, and it's taken me, I mean, I've been playing the game for almost 4 years, and it's taken that much time. I mean, obviously, I didn't have it the whole time, but, it's just kind of devastating to get a nerf like that on something you've worked so hard. So now I've babbled on about it. Spooby's been smiling the whole time. Why don't you tell us what you're smiling about, Spooby?
No, okay, so I was just thinking to myself, about the whole, it's like, just upgrading certain defenses, because what it does, it does bring other troops down. It's gonna, okay, so say for instance that the next update that the cannon gets a 25% damage increase. Okay, that sounds crazy, And if you just want to eliminate that one problem, it's gonna eliminate what's gonna do. It's gonna cause way more problems for the giants, for the golems, for archers. Well, not really archers, but for these flash damage troops. Yeah, for the other troops in order to 3-star these bases. People are saying right now the offense is overpowered right now because the whole Inferno Tower nerf, or I would say nerf pretty much. Even though there was a buff
I agree.
that did for the multi, but no one's really using the multi feature right now. So I would feel like that if they were to nerf anything, I would say just nerf the queen, because just nerf it by about 10%, and also nerf the healers, because the healers do it's because for my attack as a Town Hall 9, I have 17, 18 heroes. And I use 7 healers for my attacks, because I really do feel like that if there's no Inferno Towers, like nullifying anything, which it doesn't anymore, I would just say, just keep everything invincible.
I don't agree with Spooby.
Don't.
Yeah, I don't want my queen nerfed either. I'm telling you.
Just by 10%?
Plus, I want to say this, Spooby. Queen Walk was nerfed, and it was a while ago, but healers now can, pull out those air mines, and that used to not be the case. They used to be able to go trap-free, but now you have to worry about traps. So the nerf already has happened, and it's been a while ago, but it's not like those healers have just been, ruling the skies. Something was already put in place. So, I mean, it's fine. We don't have to all agree. And that's cool, but I don't agree. Maybe it's because your heroes are so low, Spooby. You don't feel that value yet.
It's not that bad, okay?
That's probably what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now that we know how we feel about that, I mean, I don't know. No one knows what they're gonna do, but nerfing the queen, the best troop in Clash of Clans, just seems, they'd have to put a lot of time and thought into how they want to handle that.
Well, their big content drop is coming up, so
Yes.
And I don't know that they're going to want to mess with the queen too much because of everybody that's going to go up and everybody that is still going to want to have some viable option for the people that are leaving. And the queen walk, as you said, is the best if you're doing that multi-phase start for the top. But so,
Mad Hatter, my best friend, man. Thank you very much for coming in.
Is that a buddy of yours?
Yeah, it's a really good friend of mine, actually from Battle Wolves. Man, he's been my bro for a really long time. So I just want to give a huge shout out to you, Mad Hatter. You're the best.
Thanks for coming through, man. All right, I have a comment here, and it's actually from Spooby himself, and it seems like he's a bit arrogant in this because it says question for the three of you, and the three of you being him as well. You've all impacted the Clash community in a large way. So
Not
what he's
me.
saying here is that he has been this huge impact on the community.
Whoa!
That's what I think is coming from this question right now.
This is for June. Okay, this was for June until
Oh.
Claire came up.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I know it. I'm just
Don't
playing.
be.
But I'm
Boy.
gonna get. We're getting your question anyway, man. And he says, however, isn't this just a phone game? How do you balance work life from Clash life? I swear, Doc, I see you on Discord 24/7, and I've checked. I send you a message, and 2 minutes later, you always respond. So, a question for Doc Holliday: how did you create the staff of the AWL, like Momo, David, and Matt, and how did you meet them?
Wow. Well, first off, thanks for the question, Spooks. And I got to say, that's really the secret to the success in the AWL is the staff, our founders and our staff. Our founder, me and Taff and Axis go way back, and you asked how we met our staff. At each one of them, we put out applications. So every single person that's come through the AWL went through a process and went through an interview and was voted on by the others there and has walked and paid their dues. We've got Mo on the staff, and we got people on staff that don't have a clan committed. We've got people in staff that do, but truth be told, it's a lot luck. I'll take luck over anything else any today. Yeah, but a lot of luck, a lot of the right people came through, and we turned a lot of good quality clans away for season 1, just like we turned a lot of good quality applicants away. But it's about finding the right people and then surrounding those people with your support, and that's really what it does. And I'm telling you what, Taff and Axis do a great job of making sure our staff are well taken care of. Our staff do a good job making sure our associate staff are doing what they're doing, and we make sure communication is the number one thing.
I like it. And I knew Malicious Matt from when I first started getting into the competitive war scene. It was pretty cool when I saw him over here in the AWL also.
Second to none.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. You got something you want to say there, Spoops?
Oh no, nothing. Just Mad Hatter. Your wallet. It's just choking you right now, man. You better stop.
Shout out.
All right, we got a question from Solid coming in right now. Question for all three of you. Would you say any form of no dip is a lot more exciting and action-packed than dip, and why? I personally like no dip. I think that it's the natural, organic form of the game, what it was meant to be, and obviously dipping happened because it's an effective strategy and it's a way to win wars. But I do enjoy no dip more because you're getting that 10v10, 9v9, 11v11, and it's like truth. Thank you very much, COC. How do you guys feel about it? You on the same page as me?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I feel like that, they're just dipping down. Okay, in Blue Falcon, I'm going to call someone out, actually. Okay, we got Wiz, okay? He was at Town Hall 11, brand new Town Hall 11 with maxed out, Town Hall 10 heroes, and he dipped down and attacked a Town Hall 9, and he struggled, and he struggled to get that 3-star, and it was not exciting to watch, at all. Like, we all, like, we all knew that it was going to be a 3-star, but it wasn't even worth watching at that point. So so things like if you're Town Hall 9, you attack another Town Hall 9, that's like, whoa, that's let's go watch this. Let's go and see if he has enough skill to take out the same point defenses or the same splash defenses as this person. So I feel like it's much more exciting.
Yeah, and Doc, obviously.
Yeah, obviously from a league that we do a no reach, no dip format, you can obviously tell the no dip aspect is near and dear to mine in our hearts. But it goes further than that. I was serious when I said we take the community very seriously. We ask, we send out lots of information. We ask all day. We have questions channels, a Desert channel, and I assure you, you can scroll through there and see that most of them have been taken or used. But I don't really know. I just think that ultimately it becomes about people again and helping and being willing to help, and that's what it comes down to.
Gotcha. Well said. And now Solid also has a question about that's completely off topic, and he's saying, would you all survive a zombie apocalypse? Where would you go and what would you do? And I'll tell you, for me, the zombie apocalypse, I'm more scared of the people than I am about the zombies. I mean,
Oh yeah.
from watching these shows, the zombies are scary and all, but you could take them down. But the people, they become savage.
Exactly.
So if you are part of the family circle or circle of clans, we would stick together in this zombie apocalypse, and we would have each other's backs. So another reason to join. Spoopy, would you make it through, man?
Oh no, absolutely not. Yeah, I would. I probably just make a stream and then I'd be like, okay, well, it's my last stream, so might as well down this apple cider vinegar, and we'll say goodnight. That's about it. I would give up completely.
Y'all just need to come hang out with me then, because I got you covered, I assure you.
I see that nice hat right there. Okay, where'd you get that hat, by the way?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
In the Wild West?
I don't know. You just, when you find the right one, you find the right one.
See, hats like that I can't find them where I'm from, man. I don't see that kind of stuff around here.
There's a rule, though. Don't call him a cowboy until you see him ride.
Oh. Would you consider yourself a cowboy?
Born and bred, brother.
There you go. That's so cool.
We got 26 horses right outside the front door right now.
Wow.
What?
Yes, sir.
Do they all play Clash?
Well, it is what it is.
There's only so much you could get out of a horse, right?
That's right.
All right, let's move on to this question. It's from Naaman. What do you think if the P.E.K.K.A. removed her armor? Which P.E.K.K.A., the regular P.E.K.K.A. or Super P.E.K.K.A., found the most sexy?
Oh, my goodness.
Who's the best looking P.E.K.K.A.?
I do not recall. I need an attorney.
I'm not allowed to say my lawyer.
I would say
my wife.
Yeah.
That's all you can say.
You got to go with the original though, the OG P.E.K.K.A. You gotta keep that love for her.
Yeah. Yes, very true.
Okay,
all right, so
I got this, y'all. Okay, have you guys seen the level 7 P.E.K.K.A.? It is the most disgusting, girl you've ever met, like the baddest girl you've ever met, and she will go in there with the 2 swords, orange, perfect. It runs right off the perfect, just right there, thick girls, and she just whap on the town hall. You're done. Goes to the queen, whap, you're done. Okay, with the rage, she sprints over Usain Bolt and just stabs the town hall. It's done. That's all you gotta say. 25 space.
Thank you, Spoopy.
Yeah. P.E.K.K.A.'s coming back, though. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've been doing videos about that a lot lately. I mean, P.E.K.K.A. is back. Haters beware.
Yes, it is.
All right, so I'm going to stay out of this question, and I'm going to leave it up to you guys because I'll let you guys speculate as much as you want. Thoughts on Town Hall 12? This is basically in every spring trap. Everyone wants to know. Town Hall 12. You guys talk about it.
Well, I'll go first. How about that? You already asked me. We have very, very high hopes for Town Hall 12. I'm going to be honest with you. We're coming out this year. I really do believe that. I also believe it'll be sooner rather than later. I will say the AWL has a plan. The AWL, when we started, we put a Town Hall 11 and 10 only division out there. And we made it no reach and no dip because we want it to be straight across the board where it's your Town Hall 11 versus Town Hall 11 and all those extra clean, fresh hits didn't work. And we've got a plan for when 12 drops just very similar for that. So I will also say when it does drop, the amount of people, the percentage of people that go up to 12 initially, we all think it's going to be, oh my gosh, everybody's going, but it's really such a small percentage of people will end up going to it anyway. But yes, we do have a plan to incorporate 12s as soon as they drop in. So
nice.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, for Town Hall 12, I'm hoping. Okay, I swear, if I see a hero there, I'm not going to go up because having 3 heroes is enough. Because I have my fat fingers and also I'm trying to play on my phone and I'm over here multitasking, trying to slide on the screen, and I'm just not going to my rage spells as fast enough. But for right now, I feel like that we have enough, I feel like, that we need another point defense, something that's really going to impact, that's really going to tie around, is because what differentiated what made Town Hall 11 different from Town Hall 10 was the Warden and was the Eagle Artillery. Eagle Artillery, one of the strongest defenses probably in the game, just without a doubt. And then you have the Inferno Tower, and that's like that's really what made them like the key structures, that you really look at is like, oh, that's a really good Town Hall 11, or oh, that's a really good Town Hall 10. So what I would say, we would probably need like a new kind of defense, probably for probably something like like it's something like that impacts the meta, so it makes it harder for people to attack and all stuff, but just not too hard, so people like us, can look at it from a distance, and be like, okay, so how can we go around this, and how can we go around these new levels on the Inferno Tower and and the new levels on the Eagle Artillery, because you guys already know they're going to go up to level 3 and the Inferno Tower is going to go up to like level 10 or something like that, and we just have to to see how we can just go around it. So I'm very excited for Town Hall 12, but at the same time though, I feel like the Town Hall 9 would die from it because as we move up and all stuff, with like a no dip, no reach, it's just like when Town Hall 11 got announced, Town Hall 8s were eliminated from war, so that's really all the input I gotta add.
Okay, but you guys both do think that Town Hall 12 is coming.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. I'll also say Darian's given between his interview here that he gave with you guys on the show, and then which was a great show, learned a lot, and then he gave a AMA on Reddit, and he has said it's coming out this year, and your sign, Axis dropped it a long time ago, but was it all the walls now you can upgrade? So it will be here. I really do believe it. And I also believe, Goon pointed out the other day, and I'll give it a shout out for him since he's, that the heroes come at intervals of 2 town halls. So since we just got a hero at 11, he doesn't necessarily think we're going to have one at 12, and that's a good point. But I will tell you this: they do have some new content they are going to roll out. That is a fact.
Yeah, definitely.
So I really feel like the upgrade we've all been waiting on, the update we've all been, please come to at least us, war commended league, super in-depth guys, they're war focused, and on that main village. I really think this is the one.
This is it.
Good.
From their mouths, guys, not from mine.
That's right.
Another question coming in from Momo. And this is your chance right here. I mean, it's not that you haven't talked about it already, but what makes AWL stand out above all other leagues, in your opinion? Being the founder and all.
Well, I want to clarify, I'm one of the founders.
Okay.
My partners are TAF and Axis, and I could not have better partners. Just like, we're a tripod, and I really think that. How about I'll give a 2-part answer to that? The first part, personally for me, is I think my personal favorite part is that we have a great group of people that believe in the AWL, believe in no hassle, and we had what Red mentioned it down lower. It's just a no hassle league, but we have people that believe in the product, and we have people leading the show, our associate staff and our staff and our founders that are out there, and they're friendly and they're helpful, and they, when somebody asks a question, and it doesn't matter if it was just and should have been the first thing you read in the rules, Doc. Our guys are going to answer it. They're going to tell you where it was located and ask you if you have any further. They care to go out and go that extra step. So to me, personally, having that, plus having the fact that having Taff, who is, he's an accountant. So to have an accountant as, the guy, the running the server, basically, always on top of people, where they're going, who needs to be doing what, wherever. And then to have the genius of Google Docs and Google Sheets that is Axis. I'm telling you, we haven't spoke about my website yet, but she made the war weight calculator for that, and because of her, we've been able to eliminate that pesky red cloud file and that war, tier calculator. That, who wants to be a tier 2 tier for a tier 2 Town Hall 10 for the entire season? It's hard. Mm-hmm. So personally, that's what I like in it. But I will also say what makes it so successful is the fact that when you eliminate all those hassles and you just say, hey, meet the meet the breakdown and bring your best roster crew. I mean, everybody has fun. That's what it comes down to. Everybody has fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
Truth.
They are fantastic people. Like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut in really fast. I just want, like, Axis and Taff, the nicest people I've ever met coming to the AWL. You know, I would type, you know, same thing with Doc. I would type a question, they would answer just with a snap of the finger, you know, and they're so helpful. I would ask them, like, you know, guys, am I doing stuff right for my videos? Do I need to take stuff out? And they tell me, it's like, okay, well, like, you know, I watched your video and you need to take this out, you know, like, I would like, you know, to rephrase this, you know, I would like you to, you know, use gender, like, you know, to associate people's genders, right? Because there's this guy named Destroyer that was a guy and it was a girl, you know, so I'm glad I got that kind of information. So, yeah, just the best people ever. So huge shout out to them.
We got a question. We got another question from Momo right here. Do you have more to say about that, Doc?
No, go ahead.
All right, don't want to cut you off. Momo is asking, what set of items could you buy that would make a cashier uncomfortable? So let's talk about those things that you either felt really uncomfortable purchasing.
I did it today.
Did you?
I did it today.
Did you have to pick up something for your wife, man?
No, I was at McDonald's and I was standing there, and this lady just took forever to come to me, and she just didn't seem like she was giving it her all. So I felt I was in a good mood, knowing I was going to be on today. So went up to there and she said, "Can I help you, sir?" And I said, "Sure. I think I'll take diet water." And her head goes, looking for it on her screen, and she's looking for it for a second. Yeah.
Diet water. Oh, negative 5 calories.
Yeah, I do it a lot. I like to go to Taco Bell and ask for a Big Mac. You know.
Spooby, how about you, man?
Well, something that well, I would probably just, so when you're like 12 or 13 and all stuff, like, you know, when you ask for, like, you know, like condoms and all stuff, you know, just like, can I buy these? And they just look at you like, well, you're 12. Like, what are you doing with these? You know, it just makes them feel so uncomfortable, you know, like, and also, like, you know, being a cashier actually back at Ross, there's this kid and all stuff who brought me these pills, you know, and where I'm not going to say what, you know, it's for men and all stuff, you know, just that's all I'm going to say. And he smirked at me and he winked, and that just made me feel so like I love people and all stuff, but that just melted me, and I just had to I yelled and I just called for my manager and I just stood right behind him. It was embarrassing for me. Yeah, that's about it.
I'm glad you wrote up something inappropriate and.
You're welcome. Best spring trap.
And so, you know, being a health teacher and all, anybody could buy condoms. So if you're 10 years old and you need condoms, you better go out to that store and buy them, because they can't tell you no. If they tell you no, that's not the law. There's no age right there, children. So, but yeah, me too. I mean, I remember when I was younger and I would try and buy condoms. I was always very shy about it. I don't know why it was so embarrassing. Some people feel like they're the man if they go pick up some condoms because, you know, they're getting some, but I was always shy about that as well, so I always felt more awkward than the cashier, I guess. Let's get it. Oh, we got a question from Red Hot Queen right here. She's also in the chat. She's also in charge of the artwork for the AWL, a bunch of my artwork, a bunch of Spooby's artwork. So let's get her question. Why so many Town Hall 9s? Can we spread the love a little? 4, 7, 9, or 3, 7, 10, or maybe we're just waiting to see if there's a Town Hall 12. What's going to happen to the 9s, guys?
She just hit trying to sneak out some stuff right there. First off, major shout out, Red Hot. She is the AWL creative director there. So yes, and top-notch artwork. There's nobody better, hands down. But yeah, she's, you know, I'll say she's hitting on a topic that a lot of clans have approached us, and we found throughout the different leagues. And they're struggling filling 9s. You know, you have, for example, an average breakdown 2, 5, 13, which would be 2 11s, 5 10s, and 13 9s. And when you get into a clan that's been together a long time, and you kind of stop getting, you kind of stagnate in recruiting, or you just kind of click and you get real tight and you don't have a lot of influx of new people coming, you just get you get high up and you don't have the 9s to compete. So yes, we have kind of addressed this issue already. We just announced our new division last week called the Revengers. which is I know, a 3-8-14. So we only really, you're adding, one more Town Hall 11 and 3 more Town Hall 10s in that one. So we are preparing to go that route, yes. And we'd like to, we also have another one to announce for you later on. So we're not wanting to give too much of our hat, but yes, less Town Hall 9s per breakdown, I assure you, is something that's been asked for quite a bit throughout the larger community, and we are discussing it. So, and look forward to, it's kind of already happening, but look forward to more. Yes.
Eyes open.
Yeah.
We got a question from BB77. Question for the three of us, but really, Doc, it's for you. The Inhumans division, the best division in the whole AWL, in my opinion, is a unique division for sure. And he's talking about the no dip, no reach, and it's only Town Hall 10s and 11s, I'm sure. Going forward, are you going to look at adding more unique divisions that may open the door to non-traditional league clans being able to participate?
Absolutely. You better believe it.
That's the answer.
Yes, sir.
So I guess I'll jump on to the next question. The answer is yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
All right, so these are not previewed because I haven't had the chance to read them, but we're gonna just go ahead. How was the first season of the AWL? How many applicants do you expect for the next season? So do you want to go into any type of stats like that, or is that something you want to keep behind closed doors?
Sure. I don't mind saying that. I'll say this. I thought my biggest regret was going to be advocating to cut so many deserving season 1 clan applicants. We had some quality and some big name clans at that that we said no to for season 1, and that's just kind of a death knell to a lot of leagues starting out to say no to some big. But what we did, we really did try to balance competition level. So with what we had, and create what we knew who had been through Infinity Wars, who been through our system and had league experience, and was responsive on Discord. So all that is important, and now we're asking that we waived it for season 1, but now you have to go through 2 Infinity Wars to qualify for season 2, and those applications will start in a month. But and you can go ahead and do an Infinity War now, and you can run one of the breakdowns of your choice. But you run 2 of them; they're kind of like your placement war for season 2. So, truth be told, we're getting already kind of bombarded a bit with our requests that we're getting, and we had, I suspect, our initial plan for going into season 2 with how many clans and divisions we have is going to be, our decision is going to be forced to expand quite a bit here, because it's a shame to turn away so many quality when we can just kind of expand and we got the people. The problem is we want quality at all times, so we didn't want to expand too big when we didn't have the infrastructure and the people to help support it and stuff. But as you've already heard, I really do feel like we've got the best leadership staff in the game.
Yeah, and that's important though too. It's nice to hear that you didn't just accept everybody that came, because it's tough to turn people away, especially when you're just starting out. It will be great to be able to have even a larger base, but you realized that you had your limits, so that you could run the league effectively the way that you wanted, and that's what you stuck to, and that's admirable right there. We have a comment and question from Homemade right here from EYG, basically talking about Clash of Clans, how things are changing, how busy you are, Doc. And in the end, he asks the question, if someone is looking to rebuild their, any advice on people looking to start building their own clan from scratch, level 1 clan.
Wow.
Yeah, these days, like now, 5-year-old game.
Don't.
Okay. You want to take that, Spoobs?
Yeah, I'll take it. Okay. With having all of, so you have all these clan perks, and it's reachable at level 10. I would say for right now, if you have the grind for it, and if you actually have the staff available to do it, it's because here's the thing: you're going to be hindered a whole lot. It's because if I'm going to be joining a clan from the AWL, I'm not a part of the media at all. I'm just a regular person. If I'm joining them, I would like to be a part of a clan that would, that already has all the perks available. So I get the most loots, so I get the most benefits from it. And I would kind of shy away from a level 1 clan or level 2 clan. So I would just say for right now, just go to a dead clan probably, and just be a co-leader there, build it up. Just have a dead leader. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
You're up.
I'll say this. It was fun growing. I've got 2 clans. Actually, had 3. But it's been fun growing clans, and I like getting. I think the challenge might be fun again to go back to a level 1. But and for those who are interested in trying it, I would say this: remember, it's a lot about life, and it's a lot about things. So it's not always what you know. Sometimes it's who you know, and having a community of people to support you. And starting a clan would be great. So if you can find a community like, a group of people, it's always the more heads, the better. So don't give away free co. I mean, I think that's number 1 class rule, right? Find yourself a community that of like-minded people. That's another one. You can all have a bunch of people all together, and we can make a Discord server with 40,000 people. But if we're not all like-minded and sharing the same goals, we're not going to get very far. And it's kind of the same when you're making a clan. So you're going to have to find players that are suited to what you want the clan to grow. And if you do that, make your morals, stick your guns, and stick to your rules. Stick to your guns. And, hey, good luck.
That's good. It sounds like you're giving a life lesson more than how to start a new clan right there, Doc. But it's similar stuff, right? It's true.
That's right. It is. That's right.
But in my opinion, it's tough to build a clan. If you don't have any type of a social influence, if you're not on YouTube, if you don't have a big following on some social network, it'll be nearly impossible to get people just to come to your clan because you don't have anything to offer. So the only way, if you're looking to really, if you want to just do it for fun and stuff, then yeah, start your own clan. That's cool. But if you want to get competitive with your clan, it's probably easier to join up something that's already been started and work your way up into leadership roles and then be able to have a voice in that clan. But the only way that I'd say if you want to start your own clan that you should, and it could be great, is if you have a bunch of friends that internet friends or real life friends, and you just want to have a time where you get to hang out with them virtually. That could be a great, you get 10 people, 12 people, and you have that base, then you could have a great time with your clan, building it, because you're basically hanging out with your friends, playing, working on the clan. It's just a more social aspect than trying to, be like a league clan or something like that. So, I mean, I'm sure there's new clans being started, hundreds every day, I'm sure. I don't know the numbers, but that'd be a guess.
Well, I'll also say you get a lot of new clans being started now. I know for like event clans, or
Yes.
you've got this family hitting there, or you're getting clans started to run these little 5v5 tournaments, or or the builder hall tournaments where it really doesn't matter what you're, So I think the part of what's made Clash great over the years, and also been its same downfall, is that it's trying to provide so much to so many people. We've got the main village, and now we've got the builder hall, and now we've got the clan game. So you've got something for everybody, but you really kind of have to pick your poison and pick what you really enjoy and what you want to specialize in, and kind of stick to it. So if you're starting a clan from scratch, pick what you want. You can't be everything to everybody, and only trying to be everything to everybody is only going to get you lost.
Burnt out too. And it's in COC Sparty Rules says he's a level 13 clan and he still finds it hard to recruit, and it's true. It really is difficult.
That's right.
So we got Crunk with a question here for Doc, and this is a great one regarding the circle and the family circle. What is the family circle, and what is it in relation to the circle of clans? So you want to kind of break down the history, so the circle of clans, and then how the family circle came to be. So for those people that have that question.
Sure. Great question, by the way.
It is.
The Circle of Clans is a group of 14 clans right now, and they kind of pair up to form one clan's a league clan and the other is a support clan, and you kind of partner up with your this clan, and it's very, very, very league focused. The entire all clans that are on that server are extremely league focused, and they take it serious. You need to have been in the game, you need to have known what you're doing, and you need to have had some league experience. And it's by invitation only. And to be honest with you, it's the home of, like I was saying earlier, the best media team around. And So where you see, Echo and Spooby and Goon and Late and Corrupt and Clashing Duke and all these great content guys getting all their content from is right here, the Circle of Clans. So all these awesome league clans, and that's why they get great content and can show you this content. So that's kind of the Circle of Clans, and the family circle is the hub for the War Clan community. It's a public hub. We welcome anybody to come join. And we have public channels for you, that you can simply enjoy with us. But what would really set us apart is if your clan is interested, we offer the ability for your clan to have your entire category with us and set up. And you can have your own channels. You have full admin rights over it. So make it your own. But also on top of that, have all the other public stuff we offer. We have, like I was mentioning earlier, we have events. We have training camp academies on 3 nights a week where you can go and have we take a video, like for example last week Goon and Echo both had a video, and we used the Octaloon and the Falcon attack, and they posted this base and posted the video of the Falcon attack that you made and said, hey, everybody watch this attack. Next week at this time we're going to come here and you're all going to be building this one base, and they constantly build the same base. So it's constantly FCing all night long. So it's a true place to get better. That's that community I was mentioning earlier, where people help each other. My favorite channel in the entire server probably might not be others, but it's the attack planning channel. And if you're just a regular visitor to our server, you don't get that one. But if you're a family clan member of any of the clans on the server, you do. And that's a channel where everybody's asking, hey, how do I attack this base? Or how do I attack this? Or how do I do it? And man, the quality people that you're getting a response from, everybody wants to talk, everybody wants to help. And if you're looking for arranged war, people are looking there. And if you want to find clan games, we've got clan, so basically the difference is the Circle of Clans is really super focused on leagues, and that is strictly their focus. And we are the war hub, the public war hub for the war community. And with that said, my own clan is in the family circle, so it's not like, and we're in the AWL as well, so it's not like there's some scrums over here just in the family circle. It's just a different way. Right. We're not an alliance. We're not partnering up with anybody. We're not doing any of those. It's just and of course, guess what, guys? If you're here and you're on the server, Echo or Scooby might just pop in and make a video and make you famous.
That's something I wanted to say because, I have a ton of content to the point where I can't even keep up with it. I have 10 clans that I cover, not including the AWL League, not including the Clash Babes when they do their stuff, not including when I help out Pickles on NDL. But I do want to set a schedule, or at least a goal, of coming down to the family circle and highlighting a clan every so often, just because, like, a little, I don't know, a little benefit for them, so they're getting a spotlight too, because we don't have any YouTubers that are like just focused on the family circle. And I think that it would be really cool if all of us, Spooby, Goon, myself, came down maybe once a month and just highlighted one of the clans, just at random, a clan that maybe had something great going on, just to show some love and show what's going on in the family circle. So that was one thing I wanted to say. And the other thing I wanted to say, Goon and I were talking about this, that he and I are both like stacked with content. And I know that Duke is up to his ears in content too. He's having a hard time keeping up. So we really, and this is for everyone watching, we're looking for one more YouTuber to come to the circle to just to do daily content. We're talking about getting a number of clans that you're in charge of, and basically doing what we do and cover league stuff, cover whatever's going on in the circle. So if you guys are interested or looking for a clan family and you're looking to really, maybe take it to the next level on YouTube as a media kind of person, hit me up on Twitter at Echo3. Riggs was someone that Goon and I were actually talking about. I messaged Riggs the other day on Twitter. But I don't, again, Riggs has his thing going on. I don't know where people stand. Now, I don't want someone that's brand new. I want someone that's got some experience and that could be, a positive influence, and Riggs definitely is one of those people. I just don't know if he has that type of availability, but we're looking for somebody. So if any of you guys are interested, hit me up on Twitter or somewhere in the server, and I'll come over, and Goon will come over. We'll check out your channel and see what you got going on over there if we don't already know you, and maybe we can get someone new up in here to get more coverage of all the clans going on. So long-winded, but we got Wicked up in the house right here. What's up, man? How you doing? Also, we had Riggs pop in. Lady B popped in a little bit ago. Thank you guys for all coming down. I appreciate it. All right, we got more questions though, and again, I was babbling on, so I lost. Okay, so Crunk also asked, how do you get this idea, and how big do you think it'll grow? So why don't you talk about how big do you think the Circle of Clans, or not the Circle of Clans, the family circle can grow? Is there a limit, or is it endless?
Well, right now there is a process, and we don't anticipate changing that. Where clans come through, and we have a vetting process, and we want to make sure we talk with you, and we put you in an interview room. If you're interested in joining the server, and we talk with you, see about what numbers you have, what your history is, what you've been doing, what your problems are, what your strengths are. And if you, we've got some awesome clan recruiters. I'm telling you, we got the best ones. Just Flashy's the leader of our group there, and she's just something awesome.
Amazing.
But I'm literally, we'll talk to you and say, all right, well, how many people do you have using Discord? And they'll say, well, I've got 4 or 5, but we've got 17 members. Well, we'll say, well, let's help you get them guys on Discord, because you're not really getting the benefit if you've got 3 or 4 people there. It only about works if your whole clan works. So it's sight unseen, even these people before they join the server or even get approved. We've got our clan recruiters out there trying to reach out to help these people, which is what makes it so awesome. So these people, even if we say no to them, they want to come back, and after they've because we've led them down the right road. So truth be told, there right now Discord has a 250 role limit.
I heard about this.
So yeah, if you're not aware of that, you can only have 250 roles in one server. It is something I assure you I ping Discord about daily.
They know you.
Oh, they hate me. Yeah, so they hate me, I assure you. But so we're trying, and right now that's kind of the way we've got it set up. Is so right now I think the ultimate limit may be around 225 clans or so, because we're looking at needing some other roles for server, leadership, and everyone, and other extra roles, but for the bots, and but we are working our way around that. So
okay,
right now the limit's 225, but that's due to change.
All right. I was thinking, how at a certain point in Discord you could kind of become partnered with them?
Yes.
I'm wondering if that it enhances those roles, maybe it bumps. I have no idea.
I have already asked.
Okay. Did you get an answer?
It wasn't a good one.
Okay. Okay. Moving on to our next question.
Yeah.
Question for Doc Holliday. And most of my clan are Town Hall 11. We never get the chance to play in any league. Are there any plans for Town Hall 11 only league? And I know your answer already, what it's going to be.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. There's always a chance for anything in the AWL is basically going to be
right.
the answer. If it's something
That's
that
right.
people want, and there's enough people that want it, and that it'll be supported, it can happen.
That's right.
That's
exactly
why this league
right.
is awesome. That's why it's
That's
awesome. Right. Would you consider banning the Falcon from the AWL? That's coming from Embrace Their AIDS. Embrace Their AIDS.
I see people wanting us to ban the witches because of the witch slap. They're like, we're going to be the no, we would not ban an attack style. And truth be told, while it is a new one and it's coming and it's taking pretty popularity, and it's it's all about getting that first start and being smart with that funnel. But no, we're not going to do any. I really don't see us banning any attacks. I won't say we won't, because nothing is ever off the table. We literally, like what he just said, if it is questioned or supported, we listen. I promise you. Go read our channel. Go read the questions channel. Everyone gets an answer. Go read the suggestion channel. Yeah. Everyone gets an answer. And I don't mean just a little quick yep, no, or we give you an in-depth thought. Here we've talked about, and we'll say, hey, that's something we'll talk about at our meeting, and we come back and let you know what we said.
Yeah, I like that. We do have a question from Brian. He threw a donation a bit ago, and I just skipped his question. I'm going to get back to it right now. Not about Clash of Clans. It's about, well, possibly about Clash of Clans. Hands down, pick only one favorite video game ever. It can be console or mobile. So why don't I start this one out? My current favorite games, not my favorite games ever, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, and PUBG Mobile. Right now, I am enjoying those games so much. All three. But my favorite game of all times is the root of me as a gamer. It transitioned me from a casual gamer into a hardcore gamer, and that's Gears of War. Gears of War. You knew what I was
Gears
going to
of
say?
War.
I knew what you was going to say. I knew you was leading to it. Yes,
Yeah.
Gears of War.
Gears of War.
Yeah.
I mean, it introduced me to all, to shooters really. So I got into it. Wasn't the first one, but it was the first one that grabbed me. And from there I got into Call of Duty, Halo, and all that. But Gears of War, just amazing game.
Well, I'll just say that, Goon and I talk about it frequently about what do you do for life after Clash? I love Clash. It is it's my game. And prior to it, I'll have to say I was a Madden guy. I was at EA.
Really?
Back to the roots.
Yeah, yes. So I was doing the EA Sports started, and the esports started doing all that from EA. That was me. And but no, I'm also a Clash Royale player. I rock Clash. I'm probably better in Clash. There's no probably. I'm definitely better in Clash Royale than I am in Clash of Clans.
That's funny.
We got one.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, you'll lose.
Echo's deck with the Hog Mortar, will prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Snap.
I'm not scared of the hogs. I tell you, that's the.
What do you
that's the
play?
most
What do you
common
play?
there. I'm a furnace guy. I'm a furnace.
Really?
And,
So,
come on.
yes.
That's not it.
Yeah.
What's your cup? What level cups are you? Come on now. There's no furnace player that's high up in cups.
I'm 4600.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, 4600. Now, it's spooky for me to say. Right now on my deck, I got a Royal Giant, and I do.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yep, got exposed.
But hold on. But I like to change it for my minor just as often as I like to use the Royal Giant. Just depends on where you're at, kind of in the trophy level. But I've got a max furnace, and my lightning's up there too. So I've specialized and stuff. You know how long it takes a year, 11 and a half months to go from level 7 to level 8 epic. If you get nothing else but just request, you're just a 4 every Sunday.
It takes forever.
Think about that. So just to get a level 7 epic is 6 months. That takes just for that one. So you really I'm a specialist, and that's what I am. So
you're talking lightning and furnace.
Yeah.
Those are both off meta cards right there. So
yes, they are.
I love the furnace. I have it. Mine's low level, so I can't use it in anything but tournament. But I love the idea of the furnace because I hate going against the furnace. It's just always that darn card that annoys you, and you need to pay attention to it.
And that's why I like the Royal Giant as well as the Lightning, because if you don't have to use the Lightning a lot, but you get a lot insane value when you do use it.
Yes.
Because it's just so when you finally do break it out, if you use it the right way, it's just adding super insult to injury. And so basically, I've got 4 cards that everybody hates because I've also got the Tornado.
I like the Tornado.
Gosh.
I gotta check out your deck, man. I gotta get a screenshot of that. We got Wicked. Well, first of all, I had Rig saying Mario 64. Great game as well. I personally like the Mario Kart, but and Wicked wanted to know our first ever mobile game. The first mobile game you ever played, or I don't remember the first ever game that I played. The first ever game that I got into. That's pretty darn embarrassing too.
I can't remember either.
I got it. Right off the bat.
What's yours?
Tap Tap Revenge. It was a game called Tap Tap Revenge. It's okay. So if you guys ever played Guitar Hero before, and that's that's actually hands down my favorite game. It's a rhythm style game, and all you do is click on it's just like Guitar Hero pretty much. And
I've seen that.
Yeah.
You should start making videos on that. Drop Clash, Tap Tap Revenge channel.
Oh no! Well, it was supposed to be Heyday, but
That's funny.
Any Heyday people out here? No. Okay.
I got into Candy Crush pretty hardcore, which is embarrassing because I don't think a guy like me is supposed to play that game, but I liked it. And then following that, I got into that Star Wars Commander, and that was probably one of the first games I really got myself into a lot.
Yeah.
And then it's been Clash since then. I like Justin right there saying Gears of War is better than all. I agree with you, Justin.
Yeah.
Snake people.
No Snake. I never played Snake. No.
Boy, Tetris is where it's at, but Tetris is it's an ever-evolving game also because, it's just a puzzle game that you can never get bored of.
Tetris? I never got into it to get bored of it.
Really? Okay, well, I played Tetris, it was a summer and all stuff, and that's the only game I had inside my SP, my Game Boy Advance SP, and I got to, my highest level was 490, out of 999. But let me tell you, I just grinded on that game. So if anyone wants to challenge me at Tetris, you're gonna get schooled. If anyone still plays anymore.
Contra, good game, Mr. Wilson. Yeah, that's a great one.
Yes, it was.
What question do we have here? Oh, we've gotten that question before. I'll skip it. We'll get to another one. Ooh. Okay, controversial one that I'm going to skip by too, because I don't want to make anyone's feelings hurt. Not either of you guys, but another person from the community. Spooby.
Yes.
Talk about something while I find a question, please.
I got you guys. So Doc, I have a quick question for you though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with family and all this stuff, like because you do have a family yourself, and so was it like awkward, like telling them that that you actually have like a whole nother community like right behind you, and you actually have to take care of your other family too, because you have two families. You have family circle and your actual family, which sounds kind of weird actually, because family people are just odd, but. Like flesh people, they're odd, but just over the internet, they're so much better. 2D is better than 3D. That's all I always like to say. But so it's like, so how'd you come to tell them that that you actually run this organization, which is the AWL?
That's a good question, because that's a little in depth there. But I'll say this: my son came to me with the game Clash, and he said, "I need help with this. My friend's doing this," and he, so I took it and said, okay. Well, I kind of looked for a few minutes, and I thought math, and so I said, all right. So I said, give me a day or so, and I'll let you know what to do. So I downloaded the game, learned it, and figured out what I was going to tell him, and just so I could help him. And boy, the worst thing I did, because I was hooked. And so I did, and I got into a pretty big name clan right off the rip. I just got so lucky, I'm telling you. And I don't want to put it out there, but those who know me know. But got into a really big name clan from the start. Mm-hmm. And my wife, with my son playing and me able to tell him how to do it, it kind of got good. And then this was back before Clan Wars even. Wow. So then we stopped. We stopped playing after Wars came out because they switched the weight. Remember, they switched the weight from offense to defense. It used to be all that offense. You could sell your troops and do all that other, sell your upgrades, and yeah. So that really just upset me, and I was like, I'm done. And I walked away, but my wife didn't. My wife picked up the phone and kept the game going.
That's funny.
So yeah. So truth be told, I really didn't have to tell her. So she helped me, and she ran one clan and I ran the other, and we all talked. And she doesn't play anymore, but what's funny enough is she talks every day on Discord to the friends she made here. So truth be told, I'm a pretty religious guy, and because of that, this kind of is my family in a lot of ways, because you have the people you go out and be with, but it's who you hang around, who you choose to be with. When I'm not with my wife and my son and my family, that it's the time I spend not with them is super personal. So spending it here with the family, from the family circle and the AWL, it's just as much family it is for my real life family. And by the way, shout out to my wife and my son Jackson.
There you go. All right, I got a question here from Huxon. Thank you, Spooby, for picking it up right there. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Because I was reading through literally a whole page of questions, and every single one of them is something we've talked about already. So I had to kind of, peruse through them. We got one from Huxon, though, and I don't know the answer to this. I actually don't know anything about this. Maybe you guys do. How do you feel about Forbidden forfeiting a war against Spartan's legacy because they use the unrostered Town Hall 9? That's not the main part of the question. The main part is, how would you deal with a similar situation in the AWL?
We have a setup just for that. And the way it's set up for us is we understand you can't, there's going to be just life happens, man. I mean, that's what happens. You're going to get to a war, and it's going to come spend time, and the person that was supposed to be there for his mom may have passed away. He may have been in an accident. He may be in jail. Who knows? So there's going to be that, and you're going to need to use a player. And sometimes if you're in a league where you have that situation, you have to use a non-rostered player. the way our league is set up is that you can use that non-roster player. You can put him in war as long as he's in the right town hall level to make the match, so that way you don't have to forfeit. However, we allow you to add that person that's not on the roster to make the match. However, he is not allowed to attack. Furthermore, so let's say you have to put in an extra Town Hall 9 who's not on the roster to make the breakdown. When you do, that's fine. You still get to do the war, but he can't use either of his attacks. So you're just going to be basically two hands behind your back with with those attacks. Furthermore, because of that, you've got to have a consequence and a rule consequence for not breaking it. If that person does attack and decides, you know what, nah, hey, let me get into one attack anyway, the base he attacks, all those stars are nullified, whether those base have been attacked before or not, and it goes to 0. So it doubly hurts you. But yes.
Well, that's good. There's a painful penalty behind it, which is good. That has to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we also understand there's going to be an issue, and if there's an emergency situation where you need to run a non-roster crew member, please do it. Make the breakdown. That makes everybody happy. Just don't use that guy. And you'll see we have a lot of that. People have asked us about our rules because they're well detailed, and we've just kind of everything we've done as we've gone on, we've added every bit as we could.
I got I'm Batman, and you've kind of answered this. It's asking, why did you feel the need to create another league? And I know we talked about why it's different, but I guess we could talk about what inspired you to make a league rather than get more involved in a league that's already been made. Because there's great leagues out there, That is a great question. Yes. Yeah,
personally, I'll say this. Okay, I was I'm leader of Clash Kings 2, and been leader of it for 3 years now. And my family was involved with it a lot. When you get to wanting to be in leagues, you only got 50 players in your clan. You can't really get, so you kind of got to do bigger. So we got into alliance, and you have a lot of mouths to feed. When you're in alliance, because a lot of people want to be going in leagues. So everybody wants to participate. So we were in multiple leagues. At one time, running multiple leagues at once. And what that does is the people who are your clan reps, and that's the people who are usually your most involved people. You don't want to burn out for sure, but the clan reps are the ones that were there running the tier calculators or the red cloud files. And then when you'd set this matchup, well, this is who I wanted to start. Invariably, guess what? The opponent wasn't going to have that. They were going to spin it to their time, way. And now you've got to match heroes and tiers. And that gets frustrating. And when you don't, you got to bring in the matchmaking guys, and that's frustrating, because that it just get. And you can. We had leagues. We saw leagues where, and be careful. We saw leagues where there was a lot of we recommend you do this, and you should do this, and you can't do recommend and should in your rules in a league where people are going to take any little thing you give them and run with it. And we saw the fun of like the NDL. I love Pickles, and she's done a great job with her league. I love that, and we saw the fun of that league, and we thought, you know what? If we added the no reach to it, it completes the cycle, So that's what we basically did, and we saw the structure that the CWL represents, and the quality content that they put out, and we said, okay, that's what we want to incorporate. And we saw the MLCW had a good set of rule system, under their belt that they were coming, and so we basically went and we were in these leagues, and we saw all the good about them, and said, you know what, it's a shame that we can't do something and create it. And the problem was there was a barrier there, and the barrier is we were stuck. I was stuck anyway, personally, as much as I want to do it. I was stuck not being able to do it because I'm only one person and I don't have the experience needed there. So enter TAF and enter Axis, who I'm telling you what, are geniuses in their own right. Axis literally could to create the Google Sheets program. I would not be surprised if I Googled that up and found that she was the creator. I'm telling you, so we're not stuck to the Red Cloud file that had a bunch of errors everybody had to use every time they copy it. And so we could create our own roster, we create our own spreadsheet, create our own rules, and we've got an accountant here in TAF who's so detailed and oriented and cares about people. So really it was about creating a league with the right people, and and kind of not necessarily breaking the wheel. We're not trying to break the wheel of league play, but we definitely trying to eliminate all the hassle and put the focus on the battlefield, and that's what we did.
There was a question that was asked earlier, and I don't remember if I know I didn't ask it, so I'll ask it now. You talked about how much work it is to do the league and how you were only one person. So I'll ask you, Spooby, because we're all in different situations. We're all doing different things. Spooby, you're a student still. Doc, you have your life and you have the league, and I have my job, my family, and YouTube. So how do we fit everything in and not sacrifice other aspects of our life? Or do you sacrifice something?
Yes, sacrificing a whole lot actually, because of this, because with the AWL, with Clash Kings 2, with Lethal Demise, with Blue Falcon, the clans I'm in charge of, it's taken a lot, I actually have to tell like a bunch of friends, that I can't make it to some events, because, I have to, come here and have to record. But, but here's the thing, the Discord has given me so much joy within the past, within like the past couple months, in like the past month or so, that I would gladly sacrifice, for them, because with them just always engaging, whenever I have a question, all stuff, and they would answer it, and they'd always be there for me, and I love them for that, and this is the least I can do, my job, is to make people entertained, and if I can't entertain you people, why do YouTube in the first place? I'm just another number, on the YouTube, and I just don't see it like that. But anyways, so like another thing is like yes, I do go to college. I go to UAB. I'm an industrial distributions major with concentration in medical sales, and it does take a lot because I do tutoring 4 hours a day, and I still try to squeeze that in, to recording and doing all my editing. So I do sleep for about 4 to 5 hours a night, and I just wake up super hyped, And that's all thanks to G Fuel, use code Echo, just take a swig, you'll feel like you're a god. But yeah.
The fuel of champions.
Well,
and how about you? Doc isn't feeling the G Fuel. What about you though, man?
I tell you what, my wife is a monster. She drinks those monsters all the time, so whatever. But anyway, when it comes to balancing the workload between family and stuff, I believe I'm in a bit of a unique situation. As I'm basically with 2 servers, and while that may not be totally unique, I'm really heavily involved in 2 servers. My personal family one is the family circle, which it shares with, like I said, many other clans. So it's always happening. There's always something to do. With the AWL, there's something always going on. Something always happens. Somebody's got a suggestion or a question or an answer or, well, what about this? Or, we've got our All-Star event coming up in 3 weeks now. Yeah. And we're going to have you guys, covering the event. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to be one division, Avengers versus the other, and the Guardian, so. But what allows you to be able to do that is having the right people. Goon is my partner and the family circle. And I'm telling you what, there is no other person I'd rather be my partner. And there's no other person that could make it be what it is. And it's the same true in the AWL server and for the entire thing. Without Axis and TAF, it wouldn't be. And it's the same with my ClashKings2.com website. Without Axis, I wouldn't have time. So, truth be told, people who ask how do you manage, if you're asking how do you manage, you're handling too much yourself. You need to delegate some other things to other people, and that's the only way you can do things. So.
And for me, it's the same thing. Kind of like Spooby said, I sacrifice sleep. I have to wake up in the morning, usually around 5:30. I get myself going to work, because I'm a teacher. And, then I jump myself over to the gym. Then I come home to my family. And I remember when I started YouTube just about 2 years ago, I said, it was fun. Like I started doing, I said, I want to do this, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my job, obviously, or my going to the gym. That's important to me, or my family, because it's also important. So I said, at that point, I'm just going to do YouTube at night, and I'm going to sacrifice my sleep. And I've been holding true to that for almost 2 years. I get, 4 to 5 hours of sleep, and it stinks. But also at night when I'm creating, it's midnight. I have to force myself to go to bed because I truly love doing it. I love engaging with the people that come along with YouTube. And, it's, in the morning, I feel it. And I'm like, man, I don't wake up like Spooby all excited and ready to go. I'm dragging butt in the morning. But
Me neither. Yeah.
But, it's sacrifice. Something has to sacrifice to put in the amount of time you need to put in to make a commitment to something that you're trying to make happen. Whether it be YouTube, your league, doesn't matter. Anything in life takes sacrifice.
Yeah.
We got Pickles coming through with a question. What's the perfect date night for the Hog Rider and the Valkyrie?
Oh, two of my favorite troops. Oh, those are my favorite troops, by the way. Date night. Okay, so what they're gonna do. So first of all, they're gonna go eat some dinner over at Heyday. Okay, they're so what they're gonna do, they're gonna hop over on the boat. They're gonna go to the Heyday app. And then they're gonna they're gonna have they're gonna have milk. They're gonna they're gonna sit down on the grass and they're just gonna watch the sunset. And then after that, they're probably gonna go take some boat rides over at Boom Beach. And then go over to Brawl Stars to watch all the carnage, and then Clash Royale, to end out the night. Just to go see a concert.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Improv boy.
I think what we're going to do is, I know Wicked just left, but we're working on getting the Valkyrie here on the Spring Trap, so I think I'm just going to save that question, ask her when she's actually here. So she can answer that herself, what she wants that Hog Rider to take her out on.
Maybe let her drive the big battle machine,
Oh, mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Gotta bring that in there.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll want to take him over to a roast or something. Who knows?
That's right. Drop the tailgate down.
Would you, and this one's from Lil Marsk, would you change the Infernos back to the way they were before the recent changes if you could?
No.
I agree. No, I wouldn't either.
The amount of diversity now, Hog Riders are now valuable. Oh my gosh, Hog Riders being my favorite troop. Okay, I thought it was only viable in Town Hall 9. And that's it. So here's the thing: when I heard that the Inferno Towers were being nerfed, so heal spells can finally be utilized, the first thing I said, I called up my twin, and I'm like, Hog Riders are viable. Okay, and she's like, what are you talking about? And I just hung up. But I called my best friend, and I'm like Hog Riders are now viable, so we busted out the Town Hall 11, I actually was so excited. I gemmed up the Hog Riders up, to max, and I just started just grinding, and I tried to incorporate all these new strategies because I knew that the Hog Riders are going to be doing, work on these towers. So yeah, I would say no, because it brings a lot of diversity, as content creators, as Echo, Goon, Corrupt, and Mario Sonic, what we do, we like seeing attacks. We don't like seeing defenses at all. We like to see bases getting wrecked. So if we Clash, if Supercell is giving us more opportunities and all stuff, for us to get better content creation, it's better. It's it's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. I have one last question, or actually two. They're from Rolex. There were some last minute questions that came through on my server. As soon as I get an attack going here, we'll get it going. Question to all three of you. What are your guys' favorite thing about Clash of Clans? Why do we love it so much, guys?
Doc, you want to answer?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I love it because it allows me to be Doc. Period. Everybody asks me why do I pick Doc Holliday, and why relate. But truth be told, he was a Southern guy who was about manners and about helping people, about following a code, and he had his downsides and stuff. But that's he's kind of the endearing sign for loyalty and friendship, right? He stood by Wyatt Earp during the Vendetta ride, and through all those turf tumbles, and he didn't have a lot, but what he did have, he had quality, and that's kind of the way I look at the Clash community here. For me, every person I talk to, I enjoy waking up every day and getting messages and seeing and helping people with answer questions, and I can imagine it's like a painter who walks into a job every day and paints a room, and he gets to leave every day and look back and say, wow, that looks so much better. That's like instant gratification. And that's, to me, a lot what this game is a lot of instant gratification, because you can help somebody, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, thank you so much for your help. Yep. And that makes it fun. And I'm addicted to helping, apparently, because I keep coming back. So,
Rolex had another question for us. Have you tried PUBG? Actually, this is for you, Doc. Have you tried PUBG Mobile? If so, do you like it? Dislike it? Why?
Another good question. Yes, I have tried PUBG. I've also been on Fortnite and all those battle royale games. And I'll be honest with you, I had a blast. Look, I mean, when I played it, I had a blast. However, I had a blast for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and I got done, and I came back the next day, and I was like, yay, and we get to sit down, and all I got was a pair of boxers and a T-shirt. you know,
Yeah.
I played for 3.5 hours, and it was fun, you know, and kind of, you know, there, but getting back in the next day and having to raid the same houses and raid the same, you know, to get to, I can see that it's fun. Trusting, you know, I totally get the concept now for it. It's just not I don't see the long-term growth because there's really kind of no, you know, phase up rewards. So maybe as I get there more, but just not right now. I'm stuck in Clash Royale, to be honest with you. If I'm not in Clash of Clans, I'm over in Clash Royale.
Okay, well, I like the same thing. The thing I like about Clash of Clans and Clash Royale is you could pop on for 5 minutes, play for 5 minutes, and be good. Now, I love PUBG. I plan on bringing a lot of PUBG to my channel as well. Never cutting any Clash of Clans stuff, so don't worry about it. But I really do love it. But to get the time to sit down for a half hour to play around, it's a lot more difficult. I have to wait until the night, you know. So it's just a different kind of game, and I could play it at different times for different reasons. So it doesn't have that instant hop on, do a raid or do a battle, and then be done. Now, Spooby, we got a couple of questions that read through into the chat. Do you want to take those ones?
Yes. So let's see. Do you connect with your religious training to build fellowship with clashers? You know, and with the verse, "He is before all things, and in Him all things hold together," from Colossians.
Amen to that. I love you, Red. Yes, I do try to keep. For those who don't know, yes, I do have a very religious upbringing. I went to school for it and all that. However, it's not what I follow today, and it's another reason kind of why I liken the Doc is, you know, Doc went to school to be a dentist, and did it for like 6 months and went off on his own way, and that wasn't what he was, and that's kind of what I've done. And while it is important to me, yes, I think as a Christian, and a proud Christian at that, I believe my actions are what show people what a Christian is, not my words. So, yes, I do believe that, and I do actively think about it in my actions, in conversations with people, and sometimes people will ask me, "Well, you're just being PC." Well, no, I'm just, you know. But so yes, I do believe in that, and hey, we all fall short of the glory. So I assure you, I judge no one.
You know, okay. Well, Echo, I do apologize. I'm actually going to ask him one more question if you don't mind.
Go for it. We lost
okay,
him.
so
he fell.
Oh, he fell.
I did.
Rip Doc. Okay, perfect. So like,
I kicked the webcam.
I got you, man. So so here's the thing. So say for instance, like, you know, someone comes into the AWL, okay, and you know they are not of Christian belief. You know, do you still treat them the same? You know, like with the same respect, and you know, as if you know someone else, like, you know, diversity. You know, so have you ever encountered someone like, you know, that has like, you know, different religious backgrounds, and you know, would you guys try to push it on them, or just Clash of Clans first?
No, actually, it's a great point. We don't really get into that. We kind of have a rule on our servers that we don't really talk about discussion or religion. That's kind of the two. I mean, you know, politics or religion. Sorry. We don't really discuss it much, and when it's kind of there, we kind of even mention, "Hey guys, no there." But no, matter of fact, I've had many people find out about me and, you know what I do for a living, and say, "Well, hey, would you mind praying for me, or would you mind talking with me?" And I'll be glad to do that. And then we've had people come and ask me why I believe what I do, and say, "Well, you know, my favorite one is, well, how can there be evil in the world? You know, if there's, you know, that's my favorite one. But you know, you got if you pull the weeds out, you know, the good flowers and the good things that are growing, those weeds come out too, and you pull the weeds out. So there's reasons and ways out there for everything. So no, I really believe everybody should be treated equal, whether they share the same faith as me or not. I'm not really big pushy on it, but anybody welcome to do it. And matter of fact, I love the conversations. So.
Absolutely. You know, that was nicely put. So very nice job.
I can attest to that too, because I only started talking with you, Doc, not long, 2 weeks ago, maybe we started chatting it up. And, you never asked me about my faith, if I have faith or any of that kind of stuff. So really, I don't think you in any way would turn anybody away for any really reason with that. And to be honest, it would be bad practice, in my opinion, if you're a person that's in charge of this mass of people. Even if you're someone that's of influence on social media or YouTube, to really, you put yourself in a tough spot if you really start digging into religion or politics, because there's just you can alienate a huge amount of people, because not everyone has the same beliefs as you, and it's a touchy topic, and it's an emotional topic for a lot of people. So honestly, it's good practice not to get into that.
That's right,
in my opinion.
And it really, if you're treating others as you want to be treated, there's no harm or no going on. So that's all we really ask.
Yeah, no, I agree. But guys, I think we've summed it all up today in this episode. Either of you guys have any last things you want to say before we start closing up shop here?
Actually, I actually have one question for both of you guys, because I don't think I've actually heard an answer from you, Echo.
Yeah, what's up?
Or from you, Doc. So out of all the movies that are out there, I know, Doc, you love movies and all stuff. So if you guys were to rank, 3 movies, just which one would they be?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not a big movie watcher, so I'm struggling with this question right here. I'll let you take it first, Doc.
Yeah, I'll give you my 3. My 3 is obviously Tombstone. That's going to have to go in there. That's I'd probably have to say the top 2 movies would be something to shock you, but I'd have to go probably Wizard of Oz and The Sound of Music. I don't know that you can have much more classic than those 2. The Wizard of Oz was the first color movie made back in the 1949 or something like that. I mean, to be first color movie, that was a genius. And then The Sound of Music is probably the most highest grossing movie, I think, of all time. And, we grew up watching it. It's history, classic. So while they're probably not my favorite to watch, I think as far as top movies of all time, you're going there. But if you're going to go my favorite to watch, or best movies to watch, I'd say Tombstone, probably Troy, and then Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ. Those are really good answers.
Well, I can tell you one of my least favorite movies of all time is The Sound of Music. I appreciate what you're saying about it, but man, I have a hard time watching that one, man.
I know. Yeah,
but I understand where you're coming from, like why you could appreciate it, and I appreciate that.
Well, I'm a history buff, so.
Oh yeah? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, I never was a fan of that either, to be honest with you. But my favorite movies, I really can't think of any, to be honest with you, man. Like I really love the Jaws movies. I thought they were cool. I have a thing for those. I don't have good answers like Doc has right here.
The Avengers,
No, I never got into superhero stuff. I had a couple in my head while Doc was talking, and I forgot what they were.
That's what happens. My wife says,
me,
"See,
Doc.
It's not just me." My wife literally just said, "See, it's not just me."
Oh, I liked Rounders. I really love that movie.
Oh, that was good. Yeah,
liked one. It's a girly one too. But that P.S. I Love You, I really like that one. I have a thing for like chick flicks. I enjoy them for some reason.
Well, what about Dirty Dancing? That's like the ultimate chick flick, dude.
I wasn't a fan of that one. I wasn't a fan of that one. But Spoopy probably was. He's the tap dancing man.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. So being a tap dancer and all stuff. Actually, what got me into taps in the first place was actually what was it? It was Singing in the Rain and Holiday Inn. With Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Classic movies, just hands down. And I just saw I saw them like dancing. Also, I'm like, you know what? I really want to try to do that. And I enrolled in lessons. Then they were too expensive, so I actually just started teaching myself. I only had 1 week of training. Then I just taught myself on YouTube. And
YouTube is amazing.
Oh, YouTube is amazing. You don't have to pay for anything anymore.
I played guitar since I was 5, and I'm telling you, I could play Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, note for note. But I'll say this: if YouTube wouldn't have been around when I was a kid, I wouldn't be here now. That'd be in a different profession because YouTube. I don't pay for anything anymore. Do it yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. YouTube it or WikiHow it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
Yep.
pretty much it.
Yep.
But
So,
I think it's time to close up shop, guys. Doc,
All
any
right.
last things that you want to say before we roll out?
yeah, want to say thank you guys. Goon, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Sorry you couldn't be here tonight. I really appreciate it. To all the AWL guys, I love you.
Rip.
That's twice.
Doc.
That's twice.
That's
Twice.
okay, man.
So, yeah, thank you. So I appreciate it. Y'all come check us out. Infinity War's going on now. You can be in there every weekend. We got several different divisions for you to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to try it, come on. Worst that you can do is come in a war and say, "Oh, I didn't like it," but I assure you, most people don't. So, if you're a clan looking to join a community or even see what we're about, feel free to come join the family circle too. So.
There you go. And the information for joining the family circle and doing all of that is down below. Everything that you need to know is down there. So just scroll through those links and you'll find what you're looking for. Spooby, it's on you, man.
Well, first of all, Echo, thank you very much for having me on here, and thank you very much, Doc, for being such a fantastic guest. And thank you very much to Goon, for having work today, so I can, have this experience. And just the thing, guys, if you guys want to, come on down to, to the AWL Clash Connection Circle of Clans and all stuff, we welcome you guys with open arms. It does not matter what your base looks like, as long as it's not like, a Rush Town Hall 7, we will welcome you guys with open arms. And I just want to give a huge shout out, over to the people over Blue Falcon and, to people over in Hua. Hua is actually going through a war right now, and we want to say Hua all the way. And if you guys want to check me out, on YouTube, I'm just Spooby. If you guys want someone that yells in front of a camera and does stupid stuff, I'm your guy.
Hey,
so.
Hey, Spooby, let me say something, dude. Every time I watch your videos, I get pumped. I am laughing. I am excited. And I tell you what, every single person who watches your videos says it. And that's what makes you great. And Echo, thank you for letting us be here, man. You got some great content on your stuff. I'm telling you, dude, that video you dropped about the Queen walk, man, that was something else, dude.
Thanks,
Woo! So thank you, man. Great shout out. Huge, dude.
No, and I appreciate both of you being here. Doc, thank you so much for the opportunity to be covering some of your stuff over there in the AWL. It's been great so far, and I look forward to continuing. And Goon, I miss you a lot, man, but Spooby did a nice job filling in your spot. Looking forward to having you back. And Spooby, it was long awaited. You need to stop doubting yourself, man. Your content is enjoyable. The guy needs some confidence. He has some great content. I remember the first time that I ever ran into Spooby, I went to his stream and he jumped out of his chair. It was so entertaining that I hit up Goon.
I was freaking out.
I'm like, Goon, you have to go check this guy out. He's ridiculous. And then things just happen. It's funny to see how it's unfolded for you, Spooby. So I'm happy to have you in my little circle right here as well. But thanks for coming down, everybody. I appreciate you showing some love both to me, Spooby, Doc, and the AWL. It's been a fun episode. It was really nice to get together with a couple of members here of the circle. And next week, not sure who we have coming yet, but we'll let you guys know about midweek who's going to be next. And I want you to remember, we are looking for a nice, solid, dedicated YouTuber to come over to the Circle of Clans / family circle, start doing some content. So if you guys have any interest in that, hit me up over on Twitter at EchoThroughMe or on the Discord server if you're in there. So, and if you want, guys, as you could see under each of our faces are our Twitter handles. Come on over, follow us over on Twitter. Check out the links below. Make sure you give Spooby a sub. He deserves your love. And and that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I definitely had a great time. And that's been it for episode 19 of the Spring Trap. It's pretty unbelievable that it's come this far already. It's really cruising and doing great. And it's all because you guys support and the questions that you guys send in every single week. Without those questions, we wouldn't really be talking about much. We just kind of look at each other. So thank you guys. And thank you guys for being on the show. I appreciate it. And that's going to be it for today. I'll see all you guys back here again tomorrow. Spring Trap next week. See you later, guys. And
love you guys very much.
I'm your Huckleberry.